guys to our channel. Thanks for coming back.
Yes.
So we've got another banger video for you guys today. How to budget as a couple.
Yeah.
How to budget as a couple. So
in case you don't know, we are a couple.
Yeah, we're a couple. We're married. And we're married for 4 years now, or going to 4 years now. And yeah, so far.
Wow, I went blank there. How long have you been married for?
3 months and 3 years and a bit. 4 years in November.
Did you just touch my nose?
Yeah, babe, come on, stick to the... Yes, I did. You had a massive boogie there and it was irritating me. It looked disgusting. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to leave this in, by the way, so people know how you treat me.
I just removed the boogers from your nose.
Okay, no problem.
That's nice. Okay, so we've been married for almost 4 years. It'll be 4 years in November. And yeah, we've learned a lot. I think we made a video of how to save early in our marriage.
Yeah.
And that was a very good video. We still get a lot of people asking us questions, so we thought we'll do an updated video on how to budget as a couple. Things have changed since then, so we've got new tips, new advice, and what has worked for us.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, so we're ready to go.
Let's do it.
All right. I've got this paper here. It just has the points that we're gonna speak on and some questions that we've been asked. So let's get to it.
And I think as well, for you guys who are watching, this is something that works for us. This is how we manage our finances. We're not saying this is how everyone should do it or how you should do it.
Yeah.
We're just giving tips on how we do it.
Yeah. All right. So number one. So we've done this before. This is what we still continue doing, and that is regards to food. So when we go to work, we try our best to take packed lunch. We love cooking. We cook a lot, and therefore
I think it's a weird one because, like, knowing us and knowing myself as well, I really enjoy home cooked meals. Yeah. So when we go to work, you know, I would much rather take either a bit of home cooked meals or perhaps maybe even like a beef patty, a Jamaican beef patty. I know it's mad, but I love it. Do you know what I mean? Like, that would do me for lunch, as opposed to going to the corner shop or going wherever. I'm not corner shop, but going wherever to buy like a sandwich from a fridge. Cold sandwich, you know, eating it, your teeth is all cold. Like, allow it.
Okay, it doesn't have, there's fridge ones and there's ones outside of the fridge. Right? Anyway, yeah, so we tend to take packed lunches. I've always been a packed lunch girl.
Yeah.
You know, I've always had packed lunch because personally, I don't see, I can't understand, you know, the price of, you know, getting lunch. So
it's more of a price thing for you.
It's a price thing for me because I'm sorry, getting lunch outside, you're gonna get two pieces of bread together with some filling inside of it, and they're gonna price it at £3, £3.50. I can get a loaf of bread for £1. I can get butter and all the other things I need to put inside of the bread for another £2.
I mean,
that whole loaf of bread and all the stuff can last me a week worth of sandwiches or even more.
Look at the breakdown.
Think about it. And also, I don't really like eating out. Because, for example, if you buy the food now, you eat it and you don't like it, you've wasted that money.
I know.
I hate wasting money.
That's the thing for me. With me, as we've already established, it isn't so much the money, it's the preference thing. Because if I go out there, hardly ever do I find things that satisfies me.
Jollof rice, basically.
Yeah, I don't find it that satisfies me, and I would just much rather my own stuff.
Yeah, so
it just works out perfectly.
We just rather take packed lunches. It's very simple. I mean, you make food. You make your dinner or you make your lunch, you make a bit more, you package some for lunch the next day.
Are you teaching them how to do pack lunch?
It's very easy. No, some people will be like, how do I? No, honestly, it's very easy. So that helps. Also, bulk shopping. So obviously, now we live together. There's still only 2 of us. We haven't expanded yet. Yeah, but
we haven't had kids yet. You love that word, expanded.
I like expand.
What do you mean expanded? It can mean anything. It can mean you've expanded.
Yeah?
You've blom, you've got fat. That's what it could mean.
We haven't expanded in numbers yet. So it's still the 2 of us. Even though this one eats for like 3 people, it's fine. We do bulk shopping. So that means rather than doing weekly shops, you spend more money doing weekly shops, doing bi-weekly shops. You're better off saving money when you do a monthly shop. And that is what we try to do. And
as well as that, we because before we used to do a lot of like little mini shoppings. Say for instance like Morrison's, Asda and whatnot, which is more expensive. And until you then introduced like Aldi, that does the very same thing.
Aldi,
but cheaper.
Lidl, you know, I know some people, you know, they have preference to supermarkets. Some people like Morrison's, some people like Sainsbury's, some people like Waitrose,
Marks and Spencer's,
Marks and Spencer's for you posh ones, you know, whatever. But for us, we like to, you know, do our bulk shopping, make sure it can last us through the month. And we save more money that way rather than, you know, keep on going to stores to pick up stuff, because you spend more money. And along with that, we understand that sometimes you don't have the space. Luckily for us, we do have a lot of storage space, a lot of cupboard spaces, a big fridge freezer, so we are able to do a monthly shop and get everything. However, with someone who has a smaller kitchen, smaller space, that might be tricky for them. So I understand if, you know, you find bulk shopping harder, but yeah, just try and be competitive with the prices with where you do your shopping, because there are competitive stores out there. Do we have separate accounts or shared accounts?
We have both. So we have a joint savings account. And then we have individual accounts as well.
So what do we think about having a joint savings account? Because you know what, I've realized that a lot of people, a lot of couples don't have shared accounts. Like, they tend to just, you know, save individually.
Yeah, literally. I did put up a poll on Twitter the other day. I put up a poll on Twitter and I was asking people, but this was like those who were not married. I was asking, how long would it be for you to, how long would it take you until you have a joint account with your partner? And then I put like different answers, like between 6 months, between a year, 2 years, or never ever. Guess what won?
Never ever.
Never ever. I was so shocked, and people started also sub-quoting the tweet saying, why would I ever have a joint savings account? Even when I'm married, I won't have a joint savings account and stuff.
But also, yeah, exactly. Even married couples that we know don't have joint savings accounts, and it seems to be a bit of an anomaly for couples, even married couples. And we kind of find it strange, because for us personally, if you know our journey, we have been saving together even before we were engaged. I know it's weird.
Yeah, I think we started saving together 6 months after we started talking. So 6 months dating, we started saving together. And
it's been that way since.
And it's been that way since. And we've quite enjoyed it because we have the same goals. We're married, we have the same goals, we have the same dream, and that is the whole point of a marriage and having a partner. That is the whole point of having a partner. We have the same dreams.
And as the whole old marriage saying goes, what's mine is yours, what's yours is mine. So we see as a benefit to actually have a joint savings account, and to just know that, you know, we are pushing for the same goal, and all our money, or the majority of our money that we want to save, we both have access to it, we both can see it. However,
that is not to say that we do not have other accounts as well to manage our own different activities.
So we also do have our own separate accounts. So I have my own individual accounts that I get my salary into, that I pay my tax into, and you also have...
I've also got my own personal account that my wages goes into, and also my business activities also go into as well. So we of course do that respectively, and also prioritize the main savings joint account. That's the priority.
How do you split your earnings across mortgage, savings, and bills? This is my forte. After I get paid, I take out the mortgage payment, because the mortgage comes out of, I pay the mortgage. So I put the mortgage payment into the mortgage account, and for it to be taken out. And
And your allowance?
Allowance, I don't really tend to give myself an allowance, because I don't really feel like I need one. I would probably leave myself, I'm very low maintenance, I'll probably leave myself about...
I don't understand why. I really don't.
Honestly.
She can like, it just does I beg this girl to spend money.
I'm very low maintenance, so I'll probably leave myself, I would say 50 to £100 for the month, and sometimes I don't even spend that much. So whatever I have remainder, say for example I leave myself £100, I maybe only use 50, the other 50 I'll just put it into the savings.
I don't get it.
So that's what I like to do.
It makes her happy, so I don't even complain. It's like, imagine having to beg your wife to spend money. Like, just beg. With me it works out differently as well. I get paid my wages. Like, I don't really have much things that I like to buy or spend my money on. Other than food. So what I tend to do is I get paid, I paid all the bills in the house, and take out about £120 for myself for the month, and the rest of my pay all goes into the savings. And literally that's just it, really.
So just to be clear, so after I take out the mortgage payment, after I take out a little bit of what I think I might need for myself, I then put the rest of my I then separate my tax, because I'm self-employed, so and put it into my tax account. I will then remove the mortgage payment and put that into the mortgage account. I will then, take out maybe £100 for myself, and then the rest will go into the savings account.
Yeah, I think it's also worth mentioning as well, because there are other details. Because sometimes, I know how this YouTube people work. They just want details, and if you don't mention the obvious, they'll say, you've not mentioned the obvious. So I think it just goes without saying, I know those comment warriors, they're waiting. So it goes to show as well. There are certain details that we've left out as well, such as when it comes to contribution to, like, say for instance, we've got family members that need contributing for. We've got activities that we need to contribute
offerings
for, offerings and church charity contributions as well. So all these little details are things, of course, some of them are private, so we're not really putting it out there, but at the end of the day, it just gives a little rough idea of how our expenses work. And once again, in the previous videos, our bills, offering, mortgage, and every single thing only makes up 22% of our overall combined wages. So after sorting all of those out, we still have a chunky bit that goes into our savings, and this is done purposely from the way that we've structured our finances.
Yeah. So next question, what type of money management role do you play in your marriage? So this is a very good question, and this is quite important, and I think it's quite good to know how you manage money, or the role you play with money, even before you begin dating someone, or before you get into a relationship. It's very important. From a young age, I've always known that I'm a saver, and I've grown up to be a saver, and that's what I am. What about you?
With me, I think I have two characters when it comes to saving money.
Yeah.
I'm a money maker. I'm an innovator. I think of how to make money. I think of how the money could make us more money. I think
you're more of a how to invest money as well.
Yeah.
I think that's your primary, invest money, and then how to make more.
I think as well, and as you've mentioned as well, it's good to identify who you are from the beginning of, like, the relationship. And as well, what one point I did identify is the fact that I could spend money quick. Like, you give me money, believe me, by the time of getting that money and getting home, I would make a legitimate reason as to why that money needs to be spent.
I don't think
so. No, that's why with me, and I can't see the money that I have to give it, like, put it in a place that I have no immediate access to, and I have to sort of, like, go through some bit of effort to convince myself, rather than just putting in my PIN number. Like, I still need to convince myself further that, okay, you know what, this money needs to be spent, sort of thing. And in more cases, I do realize that it really doesn't need to be spent. It's just me feeling as though that I need to spend that money.
I am the accountant of the marriage, and I make sure the money is accounted for.
Yeah.
I like to save the money, and I also like to, generate the money as well. So that's what roles we play within a marriage, and I think it's a good combination. I think it's quite nice to know that there is somebody who likes to save within the marriage, and there's also somebody who likes to know how to invest that money, because as much as having money or saving money is great, if you don't do anything with those savings, it kind of becomes useless. You just have a whole load of cash, and as we know, as time goes on, cash does depreciate, because the value, it won't be the same in the future.
And I think for me as well, it's also reassuring that, I know that I'm married to, which is the weirdest thing in this world. I mean, sometimes I still struggle to wrap my head around it. Being married to a woman who does not like to spend money. No, but like, I think it also goes to show as well, you don't lack anything. Do you know what I mean? Like, you never lack anything. Whatever it is that you want, you get. And I also go out of my way as well to make sure that you are well looked after.
Let's be clear. Like, I don't go out looking like a tramp. I make sure I'm well dressed. I make sure I look good. So it's not a matter of, I don't spend any money and I'm wearing the same outfit. Come on now.
Hold on. Because the thing is, like, people watching this here, they might be thinking, oh, she's saying she doesn't save, she doesn't do, but okay, you know what? I've gone through her Instagram. She's got Louboutins on. She's got Yves Saint Laurent.
Yeah,
she's got this. She's got that. So I think it's also worth mentioning out there that we do treat ourselves as well.
We do treat ourselves, and I think there's a difference. I think, like, there's a difference between, just having money and just spending it and just spending it and just spending it. And there's actually a difference in knowing where to invest your money in or things to spend on. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, I just find, like, there's a lot of things that I don't need to put my money into. Like, I don't need to be buying makeup every month. Like, I don't. I don't need to be, getting different types of nails done every single month. Like, I don't need that. So that kind of makes me quite low maintenance. I know there's other women that really do want those kind of things, but for me, I don't need those kind of things. So it does allow me to have a bit more extra cash to put aside. I think, as you were saying, it's quite important as well for people to know what type of money management they do, because you can get different roles. You can also get someone who's a spender. Again, that's not to say all spenders are bad, but at the end of the day, you do need to come to a point where you're making this money. Where is it going into? If you're just getting money and just spending it all and you're not seeing anything from it, anything tangible from that money, then it's like, what's the point? And then of course there's the short-term saver, which again, this person, I think you said your friend is like this back in the first video. Like, they save money, but then there comes to a point where they're like, they crack.
They just spend it.
And it's like, spend the money. So I think also it's quite good to know the combination of what you have in your couple or in your marriage, because if you've got two spenders, that's not going to be good.
I mean, that's the thing about it. If you've got two spenders, that's a catastrophe. I'm telling you. And of course, it's quite sad as well, because I mean, at the end of the day, this is just our outlook on things. We're not telling anybody what to do. We're just giving our own honest opinions based on how we manage our own finances as well. Do you get me? So I mean, if you get two spenders, you're an adult. You can spend your money however way you want.
For sure.
But it's just a bit it's just a bit hard hitting to see someone who works so hard for the money, and you know the life that we live in right now. Everybody's about growth. Everybody is about wanting to make the next step, investing or trying to change their future.
And not only that, I feel like the life that we live in as well is very uncertain at times. Like 1 minute we're outside, we're doing what we want to do, we're going to work, we're going to parties, we're going to restaurants. Now we're all in lockdown.
Everybody filing for mortgage holiday.
We can't go anywhere. We can't travel. So life is so uncertain, and it's to be a spender and to just spend all your money, like you're living a very dangerous lifestyle, because you could find yourself.
I mean, of course, that's why I always say online as well, especially on Twitter, that look, you've got to make sure that you're always prepared. Some people have about 6 months worth of rent, some people have about a year, and all of this comes under the whole umbrella of managing your money well. And I know for a fact you would not let me sleep if we do not have substantial amount of money to cover a rainy day as we do right now. Do you get where I'm coming from? It's just that would never happen. It's security at the end of the day, and it's just having, for me, that gives me peace of mind that if anything were to go wrong, if we were to find ourselves in hard times, we do have enough to bail ourselves out to still be afloat rather than just sink. If the roof comes crashing down, no problem, we'll pick it up.
And then of course you've got other types of people. Like I said, you've got the one who who generates money, which is great. So can you imagine a money generator with a spender? That is like the worst combination. Somebody's working hard, getting that money, and then you got somebody just squandering it all. Like,
that's the thing as well. It isn't. I mean, that's why it's so important, right? Because most argument that comes from marriage is because of money or the lack thereof money in the marriage. Some people say, for instance, you're working hard, you're making money, you're trying to save, right? And that's your money. However, with me, I have a selfish approach, whereas my money is my money. And now I just spend my money however way I want to spend my money. In reality, you can't really, though your mind, what's yours is mine, but in effect, I mean, in this day and age, you can't really be telling me what to do with my money. Because same way I can't be telling you, don't spend your money that you've worked for.
But at the end of the day, that's why it's a marriage, and that's why you sort of need to be on the same path. Because if you're not in the same path, then you shouldn't be married.
You really shouldn't be.
But what's the point? You're going to be going like that.
Exactly, and that is one of the points as well that I'm always talking about when people subquote my tweet on Twitter saying, when I get married, that would never happen. My money is my money. As long as I have my money to take care of myself. And I'm just thinking in my mind, like that can open so many doors to like a lot of marital problems. So many marital problems.
It really defeats the purpose in my eyes.
It brings so much distrust and.
Because you're trying to, the whole point is you're trying to get to a common goal. Your vision should be the same, hopefully. Otherwise, then there's going to be a breakdown somewhere and it's not going to work out. But I agree. Just to know what type you are, whether you're the saver, money generator, person who likes to think of how to invest in more money, somebody who is a short-term saver, or the saver. So just find out which one you are. And have you ever had a disagreement about money?
have we ever had a disagreement about money?
Yeah.
Yes, loads of disagreements about money.
I wouldn't say loads of disagreements.
I would say we've had quite
some disagreements.
I would say we do clash head about money, but not in the way that you would think. We love to discuss our money, discuss our earnings, savings, and also where money goes to as well. Yeah. So sometimes we might not see eye to eye as of, at that moment there where the money should go. Do you get where I'm coming from? Maybe I might be trying to convince you, say for instance we're going on holiday and I'm convincing you why we need to go on a helicopter ride or something like that, and then you're so against it, and then I walk out. Like, that is a disagreement. Do you get where I'm coming from? That's deriving with money. But in the terms of like, we need money, the lights are gonna go off, you need to bring money so that we don't lose electricity. Like, that is never.
We tend to have disagreements on how to spend the money.
Yeah.
So
which is the problems you need. How to spend the money.
I remember when we first got the kitchen done.
Yeah.
We were happy to do the floors. And basically to do the ground level.
Yeah.
The ground level of the floors. And then Corey was like, oh yeah, let's do the bathroom and toilet. And I was like, no, we're not doing the bathroom and toilet. That's just a waste of money. Like, why are we going to do the bathroom and toilet? They are perfectly fine. And
Is this been on?
And then we butted heads for a little while.
And what happened in the end? Go on, tell them.
We butted heads for a little while, but eventually I came to understand that, okay, it actually does make sense to get the bathroom and the toilet done for uniformity, and if we're already getting these, the bottom floor done, we might as well just do upstairs so it makes sense. So we tend to disagree at first, but then later on, one of us will come to agreement with the other person.
Which I think is quite good, because I don't want a marriage where I just tell my wife, look, babes, we're spending the money that we've both worked for on this, and that is it. Yeah. I want her to oppose me. I want her to say why, because then it actually makes me think, okay, is it really worth spending this money on that thing right there? And if she gives me a hard time and I actually do manage to let her know that, look, this is why we need to do it, and she buys into it, it just gives me that reassurance.
I think, to be honest with you, I think in the marriage, right, I think you really learn to be a lawyer. Who can put forth the best argument?
Literally.
That's all it is. So I'll give my argument. I'll be like, we don't need to spend this money because X, Y, Z, blah, 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 blah. And then he will give his argument, and we'll go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And then if we still can't come to an agreement, we'll leave it. But of course, you're still thinking, even though you're going to bed, you're thinking about the arguments, and then you come to realize, okay, you know what? That person had a point. Like, their argument is stronger than mine.
Yeah.
And
I think you've just given the best analogy, right? Because there are times as well that we don't agree. I bring a proposal, she doesn't agree. So now I go back and I try to change the deal. Do you get me? I try to change the deal. I'm like, okay, you know what, babes? Okay, I know I said this before, but here is the deal now. Do you take this plea deal? And then sometimes it's like, no, this and that. So that's how it works with us.
Yeah.
That's literally
so it's just who can bring the best argument in terms of spending the money, really.
And most times I win.
That's a lie.
How many lawyers have I got in my family?
That's a lie. What?
How many lawyers have I got in my family? Are you mad?
Please.
Are you? Please.
Please.
Are you serious?
You don't win most times. That's a lie.
You can be a shouting like a mad woman. Here you come.
Okay, but I don't believe you win. I think I actually win a fair amount. Like, we tend to not spend money than we spend money.
50-50.
55.
See,
55.
No.
Last question. How often do we talk about money?
We do speak about money a lot. Because really and truly, I mean, a lot of people try to go on about, oh, money is not important, money is not this, money is not that, but that's so wrong. Money is the only reason why we get out of bed every single morning at 7 a.m, 6 a.m, or whatever, and we don't come back to it. Like, that's the whole point of money. So it's very important to know where the money is going, where the money is coming from, where the money is going to go.
I think you can get like different types of conversations regarding money. When we speak about money, it tends to be like fun, good conversations. I actually enjoy talking about money, and it can come up at different times. It doesn't need to be like a serious meeting. It doesn't need to be like, I could just be randomly cooking and you're just like, oh, I think this is a good idea. So I feel like with the conversations we have, it's not like stressful, worrisome conversations. It's decent conversations that we actually enjoy because it allows us to be aligned in terms of the path that we're going in the future, and that's always changing with us. We sometimes we have a plan that, okay, we're going to do this at this time, but then within a few days, we change the plan. So we are always communicating, because we kind of change plans often, but it allows us to still be on the same page.
I think as well, to put it into an analogy, is the fact that we're always prepared. You know, where preparation, in my opinion, preparation is way better than opportunity. We're always prepared. We talk about what we can do with our money, what we'd like to do. So when the opportunity comes, we're already prepared. We don't need to, I don't need to bring up new points and how I'm trying to convince my wife as to why we need to do this. We've been speaking about this for years and for long, so we know where we stand with this thing. Yeah. As opposed to actually being in a position whereby we have the opportunity to do it, but yet we've never spoken to each other about it. Yeah. Like, say for instance, right now, we had the windows done. I spoke to you about the windows some time ago, and when the pandemic happened and our windows broke and whatever, I just said to her, look babes, it's best we do it now. And she was like, okay, if you think it's now, it is now. Because I've spoken to you about it, we've spoken, do you know what I mean? But if we hadn't, and I come to you randomly and say, oh, there's a pandemic now, let's get some windows people in our house to fix our windows, you'd be like, where are you coming with that? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So that is just one of the examples as well.
So guys, we have come to the end of our video.
Yes, indeed.
Thank you so much for watching, for sticking around. And if you have any more questions or that you'd like to ask us, if you have any more topics that you'd like us to cover, then go ahead and comment below.
Yes, indeed.
So as we always like to say, do make sure you like, comment and subscribe. Also share the video if you found it useful, if you found it, something that you could apply to your life. Do go ahead and share it. So until next time,
peace.